Hello, this is the Radio Geek, and today for you I have an older radio that I've had for quite some time. It's an emergency AM/FM shortwave radio, and it's the RF 350, which I believe was an Eton brand. Anyway, like I say, I've had this radio for a long time, and I recently rediscovered it. And it was one of these radios that was real popular back then, like, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, where they had all these rubber coatings on the radios. And it was really cool, and it was really grippy, and it was really a nice idea, I guess, at the time, or so they thought. But what happens to those over time is the rubber or whatever it's made out of breaks down and it gets extremely sticky. So that's what's happened to this guy. I call it the RF 350, aka Mr. Sticky Fingers. I actually have it on a piece of wax paper because it's that sticky in it. You just put your finger on it and it's just really tacky, and it just leaves this film on your finger. Hot water soap and Perel is about the only thing that takes it off of your hands. But you know, it still works. It's a kind of a neat radio. In fact, it comes with some neat items too in the box here, and I'll just get those out. And fortunately, it was in a bubble wrap kind of bag, so none of the accessories got sticky. But it comes with this nice pouch type case. It comes with some adapters that you could use it to charge a cell phone with, and it also came with a wall adapter as well. So it has lots of features, and it came with quite a few accessories. It has a on the back side here, if I can get it unstuck, in the battery compartment it has provisions for 3 AAA batteries, and it has a little 3-cell rechargeable pack in here as well, that you can charge with either plugging it in over here and charging up the battery, or there's a dynamo hand crank on that side that you can turn and generate the electricity to charge up those batteries. All in all, it's a neat radio. I like the color. It's a nice kind of a darker blue color, and it does have AM, FM, and shortwave. The band dial is a little on the small side, but still readable. They've got the FM kind of wedged way up here at the top, and then the AM, so you kind of have to tilt it, you know, a little bit this way to see the FM scale. So I just thought we'd do a really quick band scan, but I guess I should go over the features here first. Like I say, it's got the dynamo crank here. It's got a light on the side here, your tuning knob and your volume knob. So if you flip the switch up here, you can either have a light or a flashing light. So you got a light, off, and a flashing red light. And down here you can select whether you want it to run off of the regular AA batteries, or the dynamo adapter, or the off position. And in the middle you have your FM, AM, and shortwave selector switch. You have a little LED here that tells you that you're charging the cell phone when that's plugged in. This is the band selector switch for when you're in shortwave mode. You have shortwave 1 through 8, and it looks like it goes from about 5.3 megahertz up to around just under 22 megahertz, and there might be some few little gaps in there as well. And then here is the siren, which is extremely loud. I won't even demonstrate that. It'll blow the headphone people out of the water for sure. So I'm just gonna run a little quick band scan. I'll do AM and FM, and maybe we'll pick one of the shortwave bands here or something. So I've already got it on AM, and I just had the volume turned down. I was picking up a Chicago station Ask talk radio.
In my life and served with some of the finest Americans in our nation. I can confidently say today that Kevin Wiley was the finest commander I've ever worked for. In an army of great leaders, he was primus inter pares. Friend and commander Kevin Wiley for DuPage County District 6.
Paid for by Wiley for DuPage County.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Martin.
For 30 years, we've been making people happy with incredible deals and service. We're the best Ford Lincoln.
They really done for you. What have you gotten out of this great revolution that we had? Tell me what you got out of it. How different is this government media complex than that one? What would you have done? I'm asking you the questions that are very uncomfortable for me to even ask. What would you have done if Barack Obama had picked somebody from CNN to be his communications director, and then this communications director from CNN, or worse yet, MSNBC, from his network, to be...
Approximately 200 head hairs each day. A goldfish has a memory span of 3 seconds. John Lennon's first girlfriend was named Thelma Pickles. In Kentucky, it is illegal to carry ice cream in your back pocket.
Some things you just don't need to know.
A cat has 32 muscles in each ear.
For everything else, watch Jeopardy! Jeopardy! It's all you need to know.
It's a little before 6 p.m. here locally, so still light outside yet, so probably not going to pick up any super DX, but just kind of a quick band scan to see kind of how many stations we get.
Brett, Jewel is an option you'll definitely want to try. You'll be happy you did. Don't wait. Give Jewel a shot.
Find out what's inside that shirt from producer J.J. Abrams. What happens to those people? They have been given a purpose.
10%. Sometimes it's 15%. Sometimes it's 5%. Sometimes they give it to you for nothing. You just want to encourage you right now.
Sounds like 720 WGN perhaps.
Right away. Grape or apple.
Sippy cup.
And I'm not that far off, but okay.
Hey Lou, did you want to tell me?
Kennedy up on, you've got a disabled van at Cumberland in the right lane, 25 minutes to Montrose.
780, I would imagine.
Express lane save you 10. Inbound Kennedy 55 from O'Hare, 27 from the Edens on in. Up on Eisenhower, jammed western all the way out to your Ronald Reagan Tollway, 55 minutes to Mannheim, an hour 10 to Route 390. Inbound an hour 7, Route 390 into the Jane Byrne, 47 from Mannheim. Up on Stevenson takes an hour 2 to your Tri-State, an hour 25 out to 355. Inbound 55, 355 in the Lakeshore Drive. Northbound 55 heavy at 355. County board members running for clerk. So there's an open seat I'm running for. I jumped in at first, and there was a lot of opposition, even from the Democrats. Sponsored in part by the Estrogen Temporal Stimulator Thermometer. Cold and flu season, knowing when it's the flu can make a big difference in knowing when to call your doctor. The best way to tell is that the flu brings a fever, so be prepared with a thermometer you can trust.
Concept. How about producing when you get a chance? This is the Mike Eller Show.
Impressive performance today for the Northwestern Wildcats. And for the Badgers, a week to regroup.
After a stunning...
It has a really nice smooth dial. It seems like the dial is fairly accurate.
Auditor needs to know how to conduct audits, to root out waste, fraud, and abuse of government. Rob said.
Learn how an IRA backed by physical gold and silver can hedge against inflation. Call Augusta Precious Metals right now. Eddie?
The Discovery Bridge is backed up. Westbound 70 have delays coming out of downtown. Salisbury, I guess it's really sort of pockets all the way past the airport through the Blanchette Bridge in 94, and then in St. Charles County, Lake St. Louis, most of the way to Forestell. 64 in St. Charles County still backed up. Winghaven out to 70. Northbound 94 still have those issues at Southbridge. It looks like there's still a jam in the area there. Westbound 64 leaving downtown. Grand out through McCausland's bumper to bumper. Southbound 170 jams north of Page. Northbound 170 jams north of Page as well, and that goes all the way up to 270. Eastbound Highway 70 has pockets of split.
Straight is 71. In Richmond's News, Weather, and Traffic Station News Radio, WRVA.
Wow, there you go. That's pretty good for early evening.
51, Jeff Katz, News Radio, WRVA. I want
give you the second part of the ghost lady. Now, she claims, by the way, she has had, she knows 20 different ghosts in that way. Had relationships with 20 different ghosts. Most of them.
Your wallet. For consumers only. Offered by Capital One and A member FDIC. Cappy's available in select locations. Copyright 2018 Capital One.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leads to white spots.
Tell us that there's lots of people out there who are Christians.
Name doesn't mean that you're a great coach. And we saw this. I remember Detroit.
Judge told me I had to choose one parent over the other. That was a choice a 16-year-old boy could not make. So I ran.
While Frank was running farther away from the pain of his parents' divorce, his father had an accident, and Frank never got to say goodbye.
How could I tell you my life was glamorous? I cried myself.
Mayoral voting for, abortion rights. He
claimed to be pro-life, didn't he?
He claims to be pro. He still does. I don't know how you could be both. He was endorsed by Planned Parenthood. Took money from Planned Parenthood, and he let the people down.
You really get to talk about anything under the sun. The crops, work, what they did that weekend.
Their customer relationships go beyond the field.
My husband had a surprise birthday party for me.
The Ferris State men's basketball squad, the defending NCAA Division II national champions, will open the season.
This is Margaret Froscott, host of Sojourner Truth, and in studio, actress and human rights campaigner Mimi Kennedy. Your reaction to this? This was vintage great.
All right, that's the AM band. You got quite a few stations there for early evening here before 6 p.m. Guess we'll see if we can get a quick FM here. Now, I don't know how old this radio is exactly, but I'm sure they haven't made it for quite a long time, but it's not a bad little performer, really, for a emergency radio. It says water resistant AM FM shortwave emergency radio. So we get it on FM here.
Dinner on November 28th at Frederick Meyer Gardens. This event will feature power.
This is my prediction for next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Some of the headlines will say red tsunami.
Oh my gosh. No way. Wasn't Halloween just a couple of days ago? It's only the 2nd. That's one station to avoid for another couple of months.
Some might think that the exotic luxury of a Maserati is untouchable, but Ziegler Maserati of Granville says
Darling of holidays, this is how you take care of your Christmas shopping list. The Home Depot. More saving. Dancing business.
How was that? Higher. If I go any higher, how many more Galileos do you want?
Mercury had an experimental vision that didn't fit the rock paradigm, and the film gives us his vision in broad musical comedy stroke.
From every decade.
must-have playlists. Choose your decade.
To the music, I'll be happy, happy.
I'm with my party. Haven't had
Transracial adoption workshop that's perfect for you. Join them Thursday.
Smoke City is big country in a big country. A 98.34.
I see. Copyright 2018, Chapter 1. What do I value the most? Setting up the gas station.
Stop by Lowe's and save on what you need.
Comfort package. Get more info at WMGB.com.
I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah. Girls like you love fun, and yeah, me do what I want. That's right, Atlas. I know you can.
Visibility is a risk factor. Is that what
When I am foolish, when I don't belong.
Open new accounts, upgrade your phones, activate a lock. And there are bonus entries for each year you've been with Sprint. There's your
Jack Fonseca of the Campaign Life Coalition tells LifeSite Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is blamed. This is SRN News.
Reality. I'm Bob Mandela.
Well, there you go. Quite a few FM stations as well, so pretty good. Let's see. It's still pretty early here, so maybe we should try some higher frequencies for shortwave. I'll try shortwave 3 and see what we get.
El presidente electo de Brasil, Jair Bolsonaro, dice que no tiene sentido mantener relaciones diplomáticas con Cuba. Analistas coinciden en que el embargo estadounidense ha sido el arma utilizada por el régimen cubano para justificar España. La imagen de una España global en el mundo.
Saludos, bienvenidos a Marca España. Esta noción global que tenemos al mundo, el deporte tiene mucho peso. Cuando viajamos por el mundo lo comprobamos. Cuando te identificas como español, muchos enseguida te responden nombrando al Real Madrid, al Barça, a Rafa Nadal o a Fernando Alonso. Nuestros deportistas... Pero 3, 0, 4.
Oh, number station.
1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 3, 6, 2, 6, 6, 4, 8, 8, 1, 8, 6, 4, 2, 2.
That's kind of cool.
Aquí en el programa, como ustedes saben, no tengo mucho. Quiero decirles también que todos esos amigos que están buscando trabajo, que necesitan trabajar, Walgreens está abriendo posiciones buenas, muy buena paga, está entre los 14.
I think it's 10 megahertz WWV. See how sticky this thing is. You can see it smeared all over the display here too. It's really nasty.
At the tone, 22 hours, 4 minutes, coordinated universal time.
Cool. That's weird. Alright, we'll try one more band here. Number 4, 11 to 12.2, starting at the top, going down.
El decoro y la soberanía al obtener otra contundente victoria en la ONU con la aprobación de su proyecto de resolución.
Lots of Spanish.
الساعة 7 مساء بتوقيت جرينتش على الموجة القصيرة 11 965 والساعة 8 مساء بتوقيت جرينتش على الموجة القصيرة.
Del militarismo, un principio que contribuye a la convivencia de las naciones, informó.
Y la comunidad internacional coincidió de forma mayoritaria en la Asamblea General de la ONU.
Oops, sorry. Sorry about that. I thought that was the on-off button and it was the on-off for the siren. My apologies. So anyway, it doesn't do too bad, and that was just off of the telescoping antenna, which is, oh, I don't know, probably maybe 2 feet long. So it doesn't do bad. It's actually a pretty decent, you know, performing radio for what it is. For emergency radio, it would be great. It's got all the coverages that you'd need. I guess if it had the weather band in there, that would be useful too, but it does not have the weather band. But anyway, I've read a couple places online of different remedies that you could try for this stickiness. And I may try that and see how it turns out, giving you guys a look at this thing and how nasty and sticky it is. You know, too bad there isn't a way for you to feel how sticky this is, but it's just really nasty. So I'm going to maybe get some of the remedies that are talked about online and give it a try. I figure it's not very useful the way it is because you just can't use it. It's just totally gross and you don't even want to hold it. But yeah, if it wasn't sticky, it would be a pretty nice little radio. So anyway, I just thought I'd show it to you guys since I had recently rediscovered it. And maybe we'll have another video once I try some of the remedies and see if anything does work with this stickiness. If anybody out there has any ideas on that too, I might try some small areas and see if something else works. But there's a couple of things that were mentioned online that I may give a shot and try. The only thing I'm worried about is some of the citrus-based chemicals. I'm afraid that maybe it might eat away the silk screen on the radio, but I don't know. I have to see, I guess. Anyway, just thought I'd show it to you and let you guys have a look at Mr. Sticky. All right, we'll see you next time. This is The Radio Geek.